Most Americans don't go broke overnight because of one huge mistake. The real danger is death by 1,000 tiny cuts. Fees so small and sneaky they drain thousands of dollars from the average paycheck every single year. But here's what you need to hear right now. Nearly all of it is absolutely reversible if you know where to look. If you're frustrated by service charges, surprise subscriptions, or those irritating surcharges that show up out of nowhere, you're not alone. And you're not powerless. The poorer you are, the more the system actually charges you just for trying to get by. That's not an accident. It's by design. And in the next few minutes, I'll break down exactly how the invisible fee economy works, who built it, and the single switch you can flip today to put as much as $3,000 a year back into your pocket. Let's get brutally clear. This year and moving into 2025, the average American will lose between $1,200 and $3,000 to hidden fees, most of them never noticed, rarely agreed to, and almost impossible to avoid unless you know exactly what to look for. And as wild as it sounds, the less you earn, the more the financial system penalizes you for just existing. If you earn less, you pay more. If your budget is tight, you get hit with penalty fees. If you fall behind, the companies you depend on actually make more profit off your struggles. Invisible losses like these don't just add up, they compound, quietly draining your wealth before you even realize what's happened. Here's the twist you might not expect. The true enemy of your finances isn't the big stuff like debt, taxes, or inflation. It's the hundreds of little, recurring fees engineered to be too small to notice, but too frequent to ever really escape. These fees aren't an accident, they're the business model. In fact, institutions spend millions designing systems that understand psychology better than most of us understand our own money habits. Every $2.99, $6.80, or $17.50 charge feels too minor to fight. But over time, these create a network of cracks in your financial windshield. They creep and spread until your paycheck disappears right through them. Hang on. Almost all of these losses are reversible with one simple behavioral change you'll see later in this video. First, let me walk you through the 4 architects of the invisible fee economy. The players who built the system designed to drain your money, and exactly how they did it. Let's go back in time for a second. The hidden fee system didn't start with apps, subscriptions, or even credit cards. The story goes back to the deregulation of the 1970s, when banks and big corporations made a crucial discovery. Americans hate confrontation way more than they hate losing small amounts of money. Raise your prices by 1%. People get mad, maybe switch brands, but tack on a $1.95 processing fee or a $2.99 statement charge. Almost nobody notices and fewer people get upset. It flies under the radar, slipping right past the outrage meter and blending into background noise. Small numbers don't cause outcry. They don't feel like theft. They don't activate your brain's fight or flight reflex. That's the whole point, and it's why the system relies on them. Let's break down the 4 forces behind this setup. Architect 1. The banking industry. In the late 70s and early 80s, as regulations loosened, banks realized there was a fortune to be made from things they used to give away for free. ATM withdrawals, overdrafts, maintenance fees, check processing. They cost the bank just pennies, but they charged you dollars every time. The breakthrough? People struggling the most with the least money were paying the most fees. Data shows that by the 2000s, Americans were forking over more than $30 billion a year in overdraft penalties alone. The biggest chunk came from low-income workers, single parents, Students, the people who could least afford to lose another $35 every time their account dipped below zero. Source: CFPB, FDIC, NY Times reporting. See description for links. Picture this. You have the money. You never pay overdrafts. If you don't, every banking mistake turns into a $35 penalty. And those add up fast. Architect 2. Credit card companies. Originally, these cards were marketed as luxury items for executives. Think exclusive airports and fancy hotels. But by the 1990s, banks figured out that the real money wasn't in interest, it was in fees. Annual charges just for holding a card. Late fees if your payment arrived a few hours after dinner. Foreign transaction fees if you spent money out of state. Penalty APRs that punish you for making a single mistake. Now, everything from balance transfers to cash advances has a fee attached. Use the card too little? You pay. Use it on the wrong day? You pay. Use it exactly as intended? Somehow, yep, still paying, just in a new way. Architect 3. Telecom and utility giants. When essentials like your cell phone, internet, or even electric bill are controlled by only a few companies in your area, competition disappears. With nowhere else to go, bill statements became filled with mysterious charges. Regulatory recovery fees that don't actually fund regulators. Infrastructure charges that never go to new equipment. And so many administrative fees nobody can define. Most Americans just accept it because there's, let's be real, no other choice. Architect 4. The subscription economy. The modern twist on invisible fees. From 2010 onward, companies discovered the most flawless business recipe in existence: automatic payments. Instead of selling you something once, they ask for monthly access. Ask for your permission one time, then charge you forever. We're talking streaming, fitness apps, productivity tools, meal kits, digital magazines, cloud storage. Pause for a second. The typical U.S. household today is paying for 12 to 20 subscriptions, according to multiple market studies, and most people can't even name half of them. Doesn't matter if you actually use the service, they're counting on you forgetting to cancel. Here's where things get especially unfair. Corporations know the smaller a fee, the more likely you are to ignore it. But they never stop. This is why you rarely see a $50 upcharge tacked onto your bill. It's always $1.95, $3.99, $7.80. Numbers too small to bother disputing, but too frequent to shrug off. Psychologists actually call this micro-leak tolerance. Companies call it recurring revenue. Most Americans call it just the way things are. Now, before you get overwhelmed by all this, I want you to hear this message loud and clear. This isn't your fault, and it isn't just about being irresponsible. In fact, let's flip the script. The system is strategically extracting your money whether you're good with finances or not. Your only real mistake is letting your financial life stay in autopilot. Let's make this tangible. Every invisible fee that slips through is basically a pay cut you never agreed to. Invisible fees equal secret pay cuts. Take it back. They built all this on purpose. Banks profit most when you're broke. Subscription models capitalize on guilt and convenience addiction. Every minor hurdle in daily life is monetized, and the numbers prove it. Americans lose thousands per year, not from shopping sprees or splurges, but from hundreds of miniature, nearly invisible losses. But get this, hidden fees aren't random. They're tested, optimized, and engineered, just like video games or slot machines, to keep you captured and cash flow steady for someone else. Even worse, in today's world, companies use AI and algorithms to know exactly who will push back and who will just pay quietly. They analyze everything: spending, income, payment history, even where you live, and adjust the fee accordingly. Institutions like BlackRock, Vanguard, the Federal Reserve, and rating agencies measure how much the average American can stand to lose before finally taking action. It's all data-driven. But the system never expected this. You can break out by making a simple behavioral switch. If you automate your money, the system wins. If you manually review your money, even for a moment, suddenly the whole thing turns against them, not you. Let me prove it to you by showing you a real-life transformation. Exactly what happens when someone takes 5 simple steps to expose and patch the leaks. Meet Jane, one of my subscribers. 6 months ago, Jane realized $60 to $80 was disappearing from her checking account every month, mostly unnoticed. She decided to do what I'm about to show you: a 15-minute micro-leak audit. After following all 5 steps, Jane ended up saving $2,150 over the course of 1 year. Money she didn't have to earn, invest, or sweat for. She simply stopped her cash from leaking out through hidden holes. You can see Jane's anonymized spreadsheet and a checklist you can use, both linked below. Pause here. If you've ever caught a surprise $3.99 charge or a mystery $19 subscription, drop leaks in the comments so others know they aren't alone. What's the weirdest or most frustrating fee you've seen? Share your story and let's raise some awareness. Here's the same step-by-step audit Jane performed. I want you to try it tonight. Get a pen. Open your online banking portal. This is your micro-leak audit. Step 1. Open your bank, credit card, and payment app statements for the past 90 days. Any account money flows in or out of. Export as PDF or CSV for easier scanning. Step 2. Highlight every charge under $20. Whether it's a $2.99 fee, $14.95 monthly subscription, or $7.80 surcharge. Step 3. Next to each, write one of 3 words. Keep it a service you actually use and value. Cancel unused, forgotten, or not worth it. Or replace something you need, but there's a cheaper or free alternative. Step 4. Cancel everything labeled "Cancel today." Don't wait. For subscriptions, search your inbox for the service name and look for a cancellation link. For surprise fees, call and ask for a waiver. Companies quietly reverse a lot of them if you just ask. For anything that requires a call, schedule it or do it during your lunch break. Step 5. Research and swap out any service in the replace category for something more affordable or even free. There are free budgeting apps instead of $9 per month fintech tools, free cloud storage instead of $4.99 per month, countless fitness plans, learning courses, and productivity tools you can access with zero charge. Download the free micro-leak audit checklist below. It's a 1-page guide, so you never have to do this blind. Now, let's anchor this with some data. Most Americans who perform this audit save between $1,200 and $3,000 in the first year alone. Multiple studies. See the linked resources in the description. It works because it brings your unconscious money leaks right into the spotlight and forces you to take action. Find the leak, end the loss. Start wealth momentum. All right, to build a permanent immune system for your paycheck, you need a 4-part blueprint. Blueprint. Part 1. Make every recurring payment 100% visible. Use a budgeting app, spreadsheet, or even a sticky note on your fridge. but track every single automatic charge. Don't let anything live in the shadows. Part 2. Create friction in your payment process. Put all subscriptions on a dedicated credit card with a low limit, so nothing slips through unnoticed. For the next 3 months, pay your bills manually. Even if it's slower, research shows it retrains your brain to pay attention. Slowness creates financial consciousness. Blueprint, Part 3. Develop a default no mindset. When you see a trial offer at checkout, say no automatically. When a website asks you to add a convenience bundle, say no. If a pop-up suggests most people add this as well, ignore it. Build the reflex to decline add-ons and upgrades. Blueprint, Part 4. Replace paid solutions with free, high-quality versions. Google the service plus free alternative, and you'll be stunned at what's available. There are free budget planners, free project management apps, free exercise programs, and whole platforms of free continuing education. These steps represent the immune system that permanently protects your cash from the hidden fee economy. Watch your statements month by month. Over time, your disposable income grows as the leaks decrease. Midway point check-in. Screenshot this framework and keep it on your phone or download the worksheet. It's shocking how quickly you can reclaim lost money with just a single round of action. Imagine seeing your bank statement next month, and instead of scratching your head about missing money, you see clear, simple cash flow, no leaks, no traps, no surprises. All because you took 15 minutes to bring your money back into the light and out of autopilot. Let's quickly recap. You don't go broke in one major event. It's usually from 1,000 tiny fees you never saw coming. Today, you saw exactly how banking, credit, utility, and subscription industries profit from microcharges, and how to defeat them with a 15-minute micro-leak audit and a 4-part blueprint to permanently patch the gaps. Here's what I want you to do next. Tonight, dedicate just 15 minutes to running your first micro-leak audit. Pull up your last 90 days of statements, highlight every fee or charge under $20, and decide which ones to keep, cancel, or replace. Start canceling immediately. You could see results as soon as your next billing cycle. Within a month, aim to have every reoccurring payment fully visible and shift your subscriptions onto a dedicated low-limit card. Over the next 6 to 12 months, come back to this audit every quarter. Track your growing savings in a spreadsheet, budgeting app, or even on paper. Download the free audit checklist below. It's the tool Jane used to save $2,150 in just 1 year. Share the link with someone who needs it. What kind of results should you expect? Many subscribers report seeing noticeable extra spending money in their very next statement. And with regular follow-through, you could add $1,200 to $3,000 back to your annual budget. The key is not just catching the leaks this month, but building a system that keeps your money visible every single cycle. If you found at least one hidden fee today, subscribe to Mark Invests for blueprint videos like this every week. The next upload dives deep into the free apps and tools I recommend, so you can automate financial defense and let your paycheck finally grow. Drop your worst or weirdest hidden fee story in the comments and share this video with someone who needs to escape the invisible loss trap. Final note, everything I share here is for educational purposes, not personal financial advice. Your situation is unique. Always double-check resources and consult with a licensed professional before making money moves. Transparency, not fear, is our best weapon.